The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have a man that really needs an introduction, for he's known the world over. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops, and this is the official Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3, the trilogy, the last fight, the post-fight review, and the result of the fight is Tyson Fury stops Wilder in the 11th round in one of the greatest fights in the history of heavyweight boxing. Wow, Pops. First of all, there's so much to unpack.
Wow.
I'll swing it over. Before I get my thoughts, I'll swing it over to you. What did you make of this fight? And just give me your initial thoughts right now. Your raw emotion, raw reaction, all that stuff.
I'll be honest. To me, it was one of the best trilogies that I've seen, and it's gonna go down in boxing history as one of the ones to go down in the ages as one of the best trilogy between Wilder and the Gypsy King. When you say sometimes you go somewhere and you spend some money and you say, did I get my money's worth?
Oh, man.
You can't say you didn't get much worth tonight, because I got to give a shout out to Wilder. Got to give a shout out to Gypsy King. They really put it out there for the best.
I know Wilder said in one of his interviews today, he said that make sure you buy the pay-per-view, it'll be the best money you ever spent. And I'll be honest with you, I can't say that he was wrong. Now look, before we get to Fury, Pops, because there is some things I do want to say about Fury. We've been very hypercritical on this channel of Deontay Wilder. I know I have over the years. I've said things like he's in his protection program, that he's not fit to represent America as a heavyweight, things like that, because I didn't really like the way he was moving and how he was acting. And truthfully speaking, there's probably still some things after this fight that he may say or do that I might not like. But you know what, man? I'm not a hater. Like you guys think I give credit where credit is due. And I'm giving Deontay Wilder his flowers, man. Today, he really showed that he is what he says he is, that he is a warrior. Can't call him the king because he lost to Fury, but I'm saying he is a warrior. That much is certain. He's definitely a warrior. You know, I think it was round 4, he got dropped in the round 4, or round 3, was it round 3? He got dropped in round 3 or round 4. And the very next round, he came back and dropped Fury twice and flipped the fight on its head. And I gotta admit to you guys, I was very worried about what I was looking at and what I was seeing from Deontay Wilder, because he looked dangerous for all 12 rounds. You know, Malik Scott, I think, did a great job as a trainer, giving him instructions, but not too much instructions. He gave him the right amount of instructions and the right amount of motivation. And it was able to carry him through the rounds, and he performed better than I could have ever imagined.
Listen, man, today he gave my respect. Forget about what excuses. Forget about the LDBC.
Forget what we said in the past.
Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at the man inside that ring, and whatever he stands for, whether I disagree with it or agree with it, he truly showed a true representation of himself and the people that want to follow him.
Yeah, and he's got...
he came out there, he did the best, he kept fighting. I mean, I've seen the best version that I've seen in him since he's been fighting. And we're having Malik Scott. I think they should stay together for quite a while. And he really did a great job.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Regardless of what happens with the news and everything tomorrow or whatever, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the flowers. But flipping it over to the other side,
Fury. It's all Fury, man.
I gotta give also the flowers to the Gypsy King. BT, you've been telling him how many years?
I've been saying it for like a good 6-7 years that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight of this era. I mean, and ain't none of these guys fucking with Tyson Fury.
I mean, and tonight he showed why he's a great fighter, and why he's got true grit, and why he is the way he is. Even with him beating Wilder, he prayed for Wilder and wished Wilder the best. I mean, who does that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he gave him his flowers when they were doing the press conference. He came out and said, "Listen, I'm not here to kill you or wish bad upon you. I
just want to beat you in a fight.
Beat you in a fight." You gotta respect that from Fury. Fury came out today and showed why he's the best. Showed one of the greatest heavyweights
of all time.
All time in this era, and we gotta put him up there. And even with that said, he said Wilder is a great fighter.
He's number 2.
But he's number 2.
Absolutely. Look, so going back to, I'll get to Fury in a second, but going back to Wilder, I like the fact he did a lot of things in this fight that we're not really used to seeing him do. He was very focused, working behind the jab to the stomach, you know, doing his thing with the jab to the stomach, targeting the body early. Didn't really, like, he was throwing the right hand, but like I really feel like he really started to put some real steam behind that right hand in the middle rounds when he started to have some success. And that right hand had steam on it the whole night. And that's why even when Fury was putting these rounds back to back as the fight went on, I wasn't confident, because I just saw that Wilder was still dangerous, but it was truly like the Arturo Gatti, like Mickey Ward fight of the heavyweights.
Oh my God.
5 knockdowns, 2 from Wilder, 3 from Fury. Fury tonight, I said it back in December last year. I made a video and I said that, with Sugar Hill Stewart, and credit goes to him, I give him his flowers. I've been banging the Sugar Hill Stewart drum for the longest time, telling anybody who will listen that Sugar Hill Stewart is one of the greatest, I can't even call them trainers, but one of the greatest teachers that this sport has to offer. And with Tyson Fury, he's got Tyson Fury fighting the way that God made him to fight, with those Kronk Gym philosophies, with the steak knife sharp right hand, a power jab, a accurate left hook. He's got Tyson Fury firing on all cylinders, and I really feel like this could be like the next, like Lennox Lewis, like Manuel Stewart type of partnership, where we see these guys doing the thing for a long time and reigning for a long time. So I gotta give him his credit, because I've had that privilege and the honor to watch Sugar Hill Stewart work with these fighters at Warriors Gym and seeing what he's all about. And he's really the best, maybe the best trainer I've ever seen in person. And I've seen some great trainers in person, but he might be the top guy ever. And and ask the fighters who work with him, they'll tell you the same thing.
And to be fair, on the other side of the coin, I'm always going to give the flowers to Malik Scott, because I didn't think Malik Scott was going to come here, the first big time fight the way he did. And you're a big thing on this, about
instructions and how trainers give their instructions to the fighters. Yeah.
Are they really giving instructions, or you just give motivational speeches? This doesn't do no value to the fighter while they're in the fight. And what I think that's people met Malik Scott and the bond that him and Wilder had, and the communication they had. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I gotta give respect to Malik Scott, and I wish Malik Scott and Deontay all the best.
And I was telling Pops this week, I was like, you know what, Pops, I can't believe I'm saying this shit, but I watched like 20 Malik Scott interviews, and I'm listening to how he's breaking down boxing and things like that.
You told me that.
And I'm like, yo, I like him.
Like, he said he had like 900 videos.
Yeah, he was saying like in an interview with Michelle Phelps, he got like 900 VHS tapes, and he's got all these notebooks of notes of fights and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe he wasn't the greatest fighter when he fought, but I think Malik Scott has a bright future in the training. And I'm very sure he's gonna get a lot of fighters coming to him after that fight with Wilder.
Yeah,
I just think, look, 2 things worked against Wilder and Malik Scott. I think they just didn't have enough time, not in camp. They had enough time in camp, but they didn't have enough time under the lights. And on top of that, I think the weight worked against Wilder. They got, like I said in the live, I told Pop, I said, they got 75% of the camp right. They got the conditioning and strength down. They got the game plan down. Wilder was mentally disciplined to come fight night. But the part they got wrong was the weight. I think if Wilder would have fought that same fight at a lighter weight where he's able to close the distance faster, I think it would have given him a better chance to win. But they came how they came in. It did get results, and it damn near got him the win. But hey, we seen the difference tonight between a guy that's a very good heavyweight in his era and a guy that's like an all-time great heavyweight.
And sometimes we say, and I've said it a lot of times, and I'll be the one to admit that I'm wrong about Wilder, that he can't be taught. He only wants yes men around him. But I seen Wilder today being focused.
He had his buffers.
I seen him jabbing, leading with a jab, being patient, not just throwing his crazy right hand just to get a knockout, and it almost worked towards his advantage. So I'm gonna say it again. Malik Scott played a big thing in his career, even though it was a loss. It was actually the final moment in his career to respect a lot of people. And you go check out the Twitter, and you'll see a lot of people give him the flowers. So that being said, it was a great fight. Kudos to Wilder, but today belongs
to Fury.
And
look, man, I'm gonna go to Fury in a second as well. But look, over the years on YouTube, one thing that I've said a lot here, 2 of the popular things, the negative things to say about Wilder have been that he's in the witness protection program for boxing, because I've been very hypercritical of like how he was groomed and moved as a prospect, right? And I've also said that, because a lot of his fans say, well, how come the Americans don't get behind Deontay Wilder? How come they don't support our American heavyweight? And there's some things that he said and done that I don't agree with. That I don't think he truly even wears the American flag with 100% pride like he should. But you know what? Look, irrespective of how I feel, what I've said in the past, I'm contrary to popular belief, I'm not a hater. I'll give credit where credit is due. And Deontay Wilder, man, you have definitely today. I don't care if you lost. I don't care what people say about you. I don't even care what you say that might be disgraceful in a couple hours from now. If you make excuses, who cares? I'm beyond that. I'm praying for you. I'm showing you grace. Look, You showed tonight, man, that you are our American heavyweight champion, and
A true American.
you're a true American, man. And you're representing the flag with pride, and you don't have not one thing to be ashamed. Not one. There's not one thing Deontay Wilder has to be ashamed of. And if anything tonight, fights like these don't hurt your legacy; they enhance your legacy. I made the point. I said about Joe Walcott. I know people are gonna say, "Well, Wilder's not as good as Joe Walcott," but look, I just I'll use Holyfield because that's a more recent example than Joe Walcott. Holyfield was the undisputed champion. He was beating all these guys, beating Muhammad Ali, and even beat like George Foreman and beating Bert Cooper and all these guys, and beat some good fighters. Wasn't no beating no rinky-dink fighters as before he fought Riddick Bowe in that first fight. But he was struggling his whole time before that Riddick Bowe fight to get the respect and adoration of the people, right? He never got it before that fight. But when he lost to Bowe and they had that 10th round and they're duking it out in the 7th ring and people saw what was inside Holyfield, when they saw what was inside Evander Holyfield, there was, even in a loss, the people that hated Evander or didn't like him or thought he was overrated or thought he wasn't much, they couldn't do that no longer because he had left every last piece of himself in that ring. And the same thing with Wilder. I've said so many negative things about him over the years. Yes, I've said positive things as well. I paid money to go watch him fight, so I'm not a hater. But somebody as critical as me, I gotta say, man, Deontay Wilder, you have done yourself proud today. And like I said, there's nothing to be ashamed of, and I hope you continue. I hope you don't let this loss discourage you. And I hope you continue to get better and stay with Malik Scott and do your thing. And I'll be looking for bigger and better things in the future. But Pops, Tyson Fury, man, he's the dominant heavyweight of this era. I've said it many times before, but I'll continue saying it till somebody else proves otherwise. Tyson Fury is, you know what? I'm gonna make a bold statement. I think Tyson Fury, not only is he the best heavyweight in this era, I think he's the most versatile heavyweight boxer in history because, I mean, he's made such an amazing transition as a fighter. He was known as a guy that would box and move and use his speed and his size. And, he kind of had the reputation by most people as a pity pat fighter. But then you see when Sugar Hill Stewart, he's made that transition to fighting the way that God made him to fight as a 6'9", 270+ pound tank. Stiff steak knife right hands, precise left hooks, power jabs with bad intentions on it that back you up when it hits you or graze you. He's really, truly something special. And I really hope people who are watching this video and have watched this fight and have watched his career, you guys take the time to really appreciate what it is you're watching because we could live another 100 years and not see another Tyson Fury.
In one word, I'm going to describe Tyson Fury that we all should emulate. Whatever you're going through your life or whatever, if you have confidence, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can conquer it. And you've done it.
And one thing, that Emmanuel Stewart interview he did about Wilder and Fury all those years ago, it just gets to me because, he said that Tyson Fury's got a special toughness inside of him that doesn't exist in almost any fighter he's seen.
And he called Wilder too.
And he was saying this all the way back in 2012 about Tyson Fury. And his words are coming true, and you see why, he was the Yoda of boxing. So may God rest his soul. I'm sure he's looking up from the heavens on what happened tonight and smiling with a big grin on his face, with a Kronk shirt on.
Very proud of both fighters.
Very
he
proud.
Also called Wilder he's gonna be something good too.
Yeah. So I don't have anything. I don't have any bad things to say about Wilder because, like I said, when you lose like that, those losses don't hurt your legacy; they help your legacy. And as far as the LDBC, I have a lot to say about them. Like, look, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I'll pray for Wilder and I'll pray for them too because they damn sure need it. And I hope the reaction from boxing fans and Fury haters and the LDBC, I hope that they'll give Fury his credit because listen, I love the sport of boxing and we need the sport to grow. We can't have people throwing salt.
Boxing, what was that saying? Humbling?
Very humbling sport.
Yeah, it's a very humbling sport, and I think tonight, even us, we learned from this and we became humble and we accepted Wilder for what he was. So we pray for the LWC and we'll pray for Wilder and hope that he becomes humble also. And like I said, God bless the Fury.
Yeah, great fight. Truly one of the all-time classics. 5 knockdowns, a lot of heart from both fighters, a lot of skill, a lot of toughness, a lot of grit, a lot of determination. This fight was, for as annoying as the build-up was with the glove gate and the excuses and all that stuff, the excuses and things like that was everything wrong with boxing. But this fight tonight, this fight was everything right with boxing. And it reminded me, again, why I love this sport so much. And I'm probably gonna watch this fight about a good 30 times
Me too. I'm
in
gonna
the
watch
next
it
week
again.
or so. I'll probably watch it before I go to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't want to ramble too much longer because we've been rambling for 15 minutes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you take some time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just kidding, Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.